Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avron Lefebvre, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the new Salomon Sleepwalker. This board features Salomon's Rock Out camber profile, which is rocker in the tips, then a flattened camber section through the middle. So that's going to give you all the load, pop, snap, and drive while feeling like a well broken in board underfoot. And then you got that rocker in the tip and the tail, which is going to give you ease of entry in and out of turns, as well as a more optimal spot for pressing and buttering. This board's available in 148, 151, 153, 155, 158, 155 wide, and 158 wide. I rode this board at Copper Mountain on a mostly bluebird day with corduroy, a little leftover baked pow, and just kind of a mix of everything, and I rode it with my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. So first and foremost, this board feels stiffer than the old Sleepwalker. It almost feels like an old huck knife. And what you get is slightly softer tips, stiffer midsection, key flex point outside each insert pack towards the tail and the nose, but there is a ton of rebound in it. Even though those tips are softer, you do notice that they do want to react and rebound, so be aware that the torsional flex is also reactive, so when you twist this board, it wants to snap back. For the most part, it's stable in the park. Outside the park, it leaves a little bit more to be desired, but it's moderately stable, so that means just keep your knees slightly bent and you'll be fine, even in rutted out terrain. Overall, you don't get a ton of chatter out in the tips, but there is a little bit, and it slightly resonates underfoot. Not enough that you're like, oh, this is fatiguing me, more like, oh, yeah, it's there, cool. I'll give it one thing. This board is very consistent with how it boosts off everything. The camber section takes no effort to load up, and when you roll back on the tail, you notice that spring and rebound in there, and it just pops you up in the air. So ollie that side hit or over that family of fat skiers or whatever you're doing. And when it comes to jumps, a little beefier than what this board has to offer, but the consistency of the pop off the lip is there. You don't have to worry about it. You know that it's going to pop. You know you're going to make it to the sweet spot in the landing if you know what you're doing. If you don't, you might die. And it rides away well. There is some fight in this board in the nose and the tail when you try to butter, so when you're going sideways, expect it to want to set down or pop out of whatever you're going to do. If you know how to butter and you know how to manipulate your weight outside the insert packs, right where that micro flex point is, you're not going to have a problem with it. If you don't, you might have an issue. Basically, a little bit more speed than you think and a little more muscle, you'll get this thing to do absolutely whatever you want. Trying to be a little more laid back, yeah, it's going to fight you more. Now, when it comes to jibbing, this is what this board was designed for. It's a jib board with pop. That means you're going to get a ton of rebound out of the nose and the tail when you're pressing. So press a little bit harder and expect it to fight you, but when you hit the end of the feature, you're going to be able to spring out of it. And when you go sideways, it locks in almost like it's doing a balance board act on the feature, but it's got that slight cradle right around it, and it feels secure. There's a quick and effortless edge-to-edge power transmission with this board. You notice it right away. It steers underfoot, and you can just set this thing up super quickly with minimal effort. Now, when you want to actually carve with it, you can drive your knee into the center of the board, push off that tail, and really lay it over. Basically, aggressive park carves. I mean, wouldn't be a board that I would carve all day on a Grimmer with, but if you want to lay a park carve to go around a feature, you're going to be fine. Overall, it holds an edge well, it feels locked in, and there's enough power where you need it to be demanding, but you can be laid back and just sort of swoop in and out of everything that you're going to hit. Who's this board for? The slightly more jib-focused park rider. So they really stiffened this up compared to what it was. It's got more snap, more response out of it. That's not a bad thing. Just if you were expecting it to be a jib noodle, it's not that anymore. It's got more power. It really does feel like an older huck knife to me. And overall, it's a great board for what it is. It's consistent. You don't have to worry about it. It's like a twin park that you can get on and just go play around with and know that it's still going to have pop and response. Comparable boards, the Ride Kink, the Rome Artifact, the Capita Ultra Fear Camber. Binding recommendations, the Salomon District, the Rome Vice, the Union Ultra. This has been my review of the Salomon Sleepwalker. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you going to buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this snowboard. If you're new here, Remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really like what we're doing over here and you want to support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Averin Lefebvre, and I'll see you in another video.